doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. Hey.
We'll have a little potluck. Have everybody over. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. Just all this blackness, and we all just getting together. We playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, you know, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights. You know, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now,
Man, so it's good to have everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot more than I could say to you guys.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. We have a real problem in the White House. So, I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
Oh, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast back in the house, full house tonight. We got the Brothers of Doom, Joe Jeff, Big James, 10 meters coming in from the south, and I'm the KC Stork. What's going on, fellas?
Yo.
What's up? What's up?
That's our wonderful president giving us a glimpse into what he plans on doing here soon. Because I don't know if y'all heard, but he's talking about we may be sending troops over to fuck with Saudi Arabia.
They already are.
Yeah.
It's a done deal.
Yeah. And once
He
again,
blamed the Iranians for the attack in Saudi Arabia.
Well, no, the Iranians did it.
Yeah, the Iranians did it.
for the drone attack.
But it was a drone attack, yeah, but they did it. But we're not, I mean, Saudi Arabia's not part of America, are they?
As far as the debt that we owe to them, maybe.
I'm just saying.
No, they're not part of America,
Is
though.
that
No.
American sovereign soil?
No, it's not. It's not.
We're working on it.
No, but it goes into the bigger plan of controlling the Middle East and the oil and all that shit like that. So whatever. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here for fuckery, news. I guess that is fuckery whenever it comes to
there you go.
the Occupant. But let's start around the horn. Age before beauty. Big James, what's going on, Pimp? How you doing?
I'm chilling, sitting here talking to y'all and.
Why you say it like that? Nigga talking to you niggas.
I'm multitasking.
I don't want to be here. That's what you sound like.
Nah, if I didn't want to be here, I just wouldn't be here.
We know you want to be here, dog. We know you want to be here. You building that code? Weaponizing that code?
Man, working on my solo project for my program I'm in.
Feel you.
So it's going pretty good.
Good. You sound much less stressed than you did last week.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like it's still stressful, but I'm just handling it better.
Yeah.
That's basically it. It's still stressful as hell, but I'm handling it better. I have more perspective on what it is that we're trying to accomplish.
Okay. Hey, so because I told you I'm looking down that path, and I kind of took some steps to start down that path this week. So you working with a team, or is it like a solo project?
This is a solo project.
Okay.
2 weeks. I'm working 2 weeks on the solo project, and then we're going to start a team project after the solo projects are done, and then that's like the solo projects are just for us, basically, to have something to put in our portfolio.
Right.
The actual team project is a real world project. We're going to help out a non-for-profit.
Nice.
So that's
very nice. Very nice.
Like the last.
Brothers Breaking Bread podcast is non-profit, so you know. Everyone build some code for us or something. I don't know. I'm joking, bro. Hey, well,
no, the last what they call cohorts. The first cohort, they built an app for a nonprofit business that makes they basically lend out suits for guys that can't afford suits for interviews, special occasions.
It's kind of like that shit that Cap was fucking with. He was out handing out suits.
They built them an app to make their business a little bit more efficient. So
okay,
All right.
damn, nice,
Cool.
real shit. Going on. So what's up with you? 10 meters.
Oh man, I am chilling. I'm back in Austin this week, and yeah, you know it. But no, I'm back in Austin now. It's great here. We haven't had rain yet. I'm still waiting for the rain to come. It's blazing hot down here.
Don't worry, Joe Osteen will come through with his boat.
Yeah.
He'll save all you niggas.
Right. Can't wait for that motherfucking day.
Yeah.
But really, I have to give a shout out to two brothers that every time I see them, man, they give me joy. I love spending time with them. They just always bring a smile to my face every time I see them, and that is Grant and Ellis. I know they'll never listen to this.
Yeah, no. Years from now, maybe, but no, not today. Not even in the car when I'm going back listening again to see where I messed up at. No.
Right. But I have to give a shout out, man, because I spent some time with them last Saturday.
Yep.
And man, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, we appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, your kids, man. Boy, you're doing a fantastic job, man.
Appreciate it.
With them.
Appreciate it, bro.
Ain't no problem.
Continue around the horn, Joe. What's up, man?
Man, just getting used to new routines, man.
Okay.
New way of life. So,
do you want
realities?
Do you want to expand on that, or just leave it where it live?
Of course not. That's for offline. That's for
okay. I just wanted to ask. You know.
That's for us. But I appreciate everybody out there thinking about me.
Love you, fam. You know, it's all it's all love here.
I mean, real talk, you fam.
Yep. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Like I said, yeah. I know we said offline. I said online. Anytime you want to follow through. Like just like 10 meters, I ain't know he was in town. Next day he was over here making Ellis chase cars around in the damn cul-de-sac. You know, whatever we gotta do, bro, we'll do it.
Right.
Yeah,
right
man.
Over this way, man. Over this way, ain't that much, man. Same old, raising kids. You know, trying to be a good guy, living a good life. 10 meters touched on it, but I appreciate you, man, coming through. You know, the boys love you. I love you, man. It's all family. So, yeah.
Of course, man.
Yep. And once again, man, thank all you brothers for coming on, giving your time. So let's get to some of these topics.
All right.
So we'll start off today, man. Out in Springfield, I guess 12-year-old white boys are allowed to beat 12-year-old niggas up, and teachers just don't act. And some people might say, the case he struck, what are you talking about? So basically, in this middle school or elementary school, depending on where we at? Let me see. Trying to see here.
12-year-old should be middle school. Mine's a 12-year-old and she's in 7th. So
yeah, I feel you, but you never know. Might be some developmental delays.
Yeah. K through 8 school or something. I don't know.
Yes, it should be middle school. So probably middle school. So basically, in Lawrence Springfield, not Lawrence Springfield. I'm sorry, in Florida.
You're right.
In Florida, a mother's demand action for a 12-year son was assaulted in school. Lawrence Springfield was a mother of the young boy who's been unnamed. Wants a teacher fired who was reportedly in the proximity of 3 white kids beating her child who only has 1 kidney. I don't care if nigga had 2 kidneys. And also without the fact that the 3 white boys were beating up a black kid. Lawrence Springfield told WTSP, I guess that's a news station in Florida, we learned that the teacher was actually in a locker room, and I don't understand that. How can you be in a locker room in your office, hear this going on, you tell the kids, chill out, you never want to get up? The span of 4 minutes to go on and check on the child, I don't understand that. And I will find the video and Me and Joe will put that link into the show notes. And yeah, sorry, this was in Lakeland, Florida. My bad. So what say you, gentlemen? Your kid comes home, whether it be boy or girl. We all brothers here. Anthony, you got a nephew. Come home and say, I was beat up today by 3 white boys, and there was you come to find out it was not only was it videotaped and put out there for digest to be viewed by the world. You also later come to find out that there was a teacher in the proximity while this is all going on. And I know, Joe, you being an educator, a teacher, let me ask you first. I mean, what weight does that carry? You being a teacher in proximity while this is going on, and also it's now on tape.
Yeah, he'd be in trouble. Big thing for us is chain of custody.
Mm-hmm.
So, there always needs to be supervision. So we are, hesitant to say, hey, I got to run down the hallway to go to the restroom in the middle of class, you know what I'm saying, or go make some copies real quick, because the 1 minute you gone out the classroom might be the 1 minute a fight break out in class, and something, of this nature or worse, begins, and that's a career decision, So if you're gonna step out the hallway, you're not, I gotta go to the restroom. So you knock on the door next door and say, hey, can you check my class out real quick while I got an emergency. So there always needs to be a chain of I don't want to say command, a chain of custody, where they are watched over, they're supervised. We try to avoid sending people out into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, this kid's being a jerk. Go stand out in the hallway. While they're in the hallway, they're not being supervised. Right. Again, something could happen where a fight breaks out. A fire could, be set. So if this teacher is sitting in his office, his coach or whatever, and then they're in a locker room brawling, and, he thinks of it nothing as more than, kids being kids, boys being boys or whatever. Yeah, man, I'm with the mom. I mean, he's in dereliction of duty. So I don't know, brother might have to go.
Gotta go. Everybody got one to go. Like, as in no job.
Yeah, one to go. One to go.
So
yeah.
Everybody else, what y'all think?
I was gonna say, I agree with Joe on this one. Definitely, he's in trouble, because even though I don't have kids, but I do have nieces and nephews, and I love them just as much as if they were my own, for the most part. But I think that he's charged, with supervision, as part of his job description.
Number one job. That's the number one job.
Number one.
It's supervision, right? And so, his duty is to, watch over his kids, that are in his care, and make sure that, that they're safe. And this kid obviously wasn't safe in the locker room with these 3 white boys that decide to jump him and cause this man harm. Despite the fact that this kid only has 1 kidney, who is disabled or whatnot. Despite that fact, 3 kids on 1 kid, is basically enough. In my opinion.
What about you, James?
Man, this is some bullshit. Real.
Bam.
I'm calling everybody out. I'm calling out the teacher. I'm calling out the kids that stood around and watched it. Because even somebody need to go say go get the teacher. Like, hey, they in here UFC and Jamal.
They jumped on top of the kid and was pounding him in the face.
That's what I'm saying. UFC and them.
They was fucking Jamal up.
Grounding and pounding him.
I don't know if his name is Jamal. We call a nigga Jamal from here on out. Jamal's getting fucked up.
Jamal. His name is Jamal. God damn.
Straight bullshit. I can't talk. I really can't talk articulately about this because it makes me angry. And
so
and
you look on my screen, you see some more
Somebody
pictures.
else sat there and taped it. You know, when somebody should have been getting the teacher immediately and saying, "Look what's going on out here," and all that. It didn't make any sense. And the fact, you know, then like and I guess the parents are getting like stonewalled by the school district. You know, they're not getting any real answers or taking any real action because it should have been immediate action. He's fired, and they should press charges against him for some type of neglect. You know, it should have been immediate action taken and given some recompense to these people and their child. But it seems like they're getting stonewalled, and I don't know all the details, but it seems like they were getting a lot of cooperation from the school district in this bullshit, and shit got to stop.
Yeah.
Now, if Pops went up in there and started whipping people's ass and set the school on fire, he'd be wrong.
So what you were saying? What you were saying, James? Here's like from the report. Springfield, which is the mother of the boy, said she was called by the school's nurse. No, I did not want notifications from y'all. Called by the school's nurse, asked her to come without telling her much more. Springfield, a hospital administrator, they didn't fuck with the wrong one, arrived to find her son with welts, a cut, and bruises on his head and face. She was not told it was an attack. Rather, she was under the impression it was a scuffle, quote unquote, but said the family would be pressing charges because of her son's injuries. It was not until later that night she found out, when she was sent videos of the attack by a parent of a high school student, that it was not a scuffle with one boy, it was an attack by several. That's fucked up. And it took the school days to say those boys were suspended also. It wasn't an immediate suspension.
I think the one that did most of the beat down has charges pressed against him, which is something. Yeah. But still, I'm talking about the people that were responsible for the safety and welfare of the kids.
But
they gotta go.
Yeah, that teacher, but the school in general, to try to cover this shit up.
That's what I'm right.
Yeah. Okay, my bad.
So, Jamal's parents need to get some satisfaction.
God damn it. But Jamal, dog.
What's wrong with Jamal?
Ain't nothing wrong with Jamal, dog.
His ass beat.
Jamal got fucked up. Hey, there was some MMA fighter on Twitter who's like, whoever the parents of this kid is, send me your information, and I will give you a child.
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
I will give you a child like jujitsu lessons for life. But then what's gonna happen is Jamal gonna fuck one of these kids up, and then he gonna be in jail.
Let's get Dakota's parents in the octagon.
Yeah. Well, why not?
We can get little Dakota in there too with him.
And like it reminds me of I talked about the boys and with the twins and their little baseball thing. Like even they were in, it's not to this level. It could have got to this level if me and their mom had went up there and let the administrators know that. Off top, like if it gets to this level, it's not going to be tolerated. But like there was like some little boy that basically like decided he was gonna piss on one of the twins' shoes when they were in elementary because he was black. And then when they got outside, the twin they got one white friend. Like we know we talk about allies. He ain't no ally. He that white friend that will fuck somebody up, and he went to fucking this kid up because he pissed on his friend's shoe. And my boys kind of joined in too. So we got called to the office and like, oh, well, we have a no tolerance policy, this and that. I'm like, but y'all tolerated this kid antagonizing my kid all day. Right. I said, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to his parents. And I said, let me tell you something. If this happens again, I hope my kid fucked this kid up. I'm taking him out for ice cream. He would not be punished, and y'all need to y'all need to handle this shit because it speaks directly to a sickness in the home. Just like with these white boys, they're 12 years old. I want to hear about they don't understand what they're doing. But they're 12 or 13. They know exactly what they're doing.
Them little bastards knew exactly what they were doing.
At 12, you damn right they know what the fuck they do.
Yeah. Shit. So. Yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy, and that the school would try to cover it up.
Coming for the other ones that stood around.
Right.
Dog,
I stood around and filmed it.
No, we.
Right.
As a parent, I have to come to your house and we gotta talk.
Now, in our school, we have several precedents set where if you get caught watching a fight, you could be named as an accomplice, named as somebody who is what's the word I'm looking for? Inciting.
Accessory. That's inciting.
No,
Okay.
Inciting. You're inciting, and therefore they're subject to suspension as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So these people who are sitting around just passively watching them.
Yep. I'm gonna suspend your ass off the top of the building.
That's fine. Like I'm saying, like,
Crack, don't you?
How about
go ahead. Act expeditiously.
Do it expeditiously.
Hey, but
I say don't fuck around.
okay, hold on. We still got a little more time. We getting off track, nigga. But yeah, somebody put that shit on Twitter. What would Joe have done if that nigga had a jump?
crazy?
It would have been all bad, dog. What would Joe have done? If my nigga had a hit of crack cocaine when he took him up there, he just jumped.
Yeah. Hey, Joe Clark really is that crazy dude. I met that dude before.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, I've met his daughter.
Yeah, no, he did a talk up at when I was in school in college, and yeah, he really is off the chain. He's kind of scary actually.
His daughters were world-class half-milers.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They probably scared. They probably can run.
You gotta run.
Probably running away.
You gotta run from this nigga.
Right.
They was rolling. That's all I remember.
Right.
Hey, Daddy carried a bat, man.
Right. They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman.
And I make niggas jump off buildings.
Right.
Yeah. So before we get too crazy, yeah. So I'm glad we all in agreement that this is crazy. We send our children, we send our nephews, our nieces, kids that we love to school every day, and we hope that the administrators and teachers who have been paid to keep our kids safe do the job. But even more than the teacher here, the administrators who are in control of these buildings don't cover up shit like this. You know, so I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me. I mean, it reminded me of, well, me and Tim Meters aren't teachers, but like I said, it reminds me of like if I was to leave a patient on the table and the patient in a table in a high position and don't have them secured, and I come back and they fucking fall off the bed and break their skull open, you know, it's kind of like for those 2 or 3 hours, I am charged with their care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I hold that. I mean, even so, I get frustrated with them. I get frustrated with procedures sometimes. But patient care to me is the number one thing to me. You know, so I just like that's the closest thing I can think about when it comes to this. Yeah. It's like these people come to me. Usually, our patients are like 60 to 70 years old, or even older. Sometimes we had a 90-year-old patient the other day. So it's the other extreme of people of members of our society who can't take care of themselves, and we are really much in control of them for those 2 or 3 hours. And I take that very seriously. So I want the other extreme, our children's care, to be taken very seriously. So it's very upsetting, very upsetting. So
yeah, and to elaborate a little bit on that, yeah, you're right, Stork. I mean, that's like our utmost, you know, duty is patient care. It's patient care, patient safety. Yep. You know, even though, you know, we're in there locked in for like maybe 2-3 hours at a time, you know, we always thinking, you know, and we are doing stuff to this patient, you know, that, you know, is kind of, you know, invasive or whatever, but safety above all else that we do, even with the treatments that we give these patients, safety above all else is paramount to these people. They trust us with their safety.
Correct.
So we definitely take that very seriously. So
we're on agreement. We need to go down there and just fuck somebody up in Florida. But speaking of safety, and those charged with our care, it's one of those things where it's like the guy just.
Yeah, I will in just a minute. Have you ever seen this before?
No. No, what is that?
Hang out with Deputy.
So allow me to narrate. So not basically, there's a cop, and I'm sure you're not the only one, Jacksonville, Florida, I believe. Cop, sheriff deputy actually, who this genius, and thankfully for whoever has been accused of any crime while this motherfucker arrested him, had his camera on while planting drugs on people who he had pulled over. So in the video, you hear the door opening, and him, and there's the music, and you hear the heavy breathing. That's him sprinkling weed, or there was a little weed in a tin can. That's what it looked like to me. I don't smoke weed. I just eat it. But it looked like weed in a tin can to me. And then what you heard was him coming back to the front of the car and saying, "Hey, have you ever seen this?" We'll continue.
Jackson here.
Anyway, we'll stop there. We'll have the video in the show notes. This is a video where they have a lot of words instead of talking. So what do? You're pulled over. It's Kansas City, or Austin, Texas. It doesn't matter because all these videos happen in the middle of the day, and you find this motherfucker who decides to plant some drugs on you. What do y'all do, fellas?
You go to jail.
Yeah,
You go to jail.
exactly. That's all we can do because shit, we black, bro.
Right. It's automatically assumed that it's a legit.
Oh, that's our
cop.
shit.
That it's
That's our shit.
They know that. You see, even the white folks, he was picking certain white folks. He was picking. You know,
like, hey, I ain't gonna lie though. We had the video up, but this second lady, she looked very methish,
nigga. What he was
nigga.
doing? She looked like she did dope. Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. She may have been a meth addict. She may not have no meth on her that day, or already smoked it.
Trying to get her shit together, and here come this dude.
Yep. She was probably on her way to rehab.
Yep. He said no.
Not today, ma'am. But then maybe this is like, it's kind of like with the mom with the kid. Who's watching the watchers, man? Who's watching the people that's supposed to watch us?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm supposed to, and then there's a lot. I mean, yes, cops. There is a certain degree of danger to their job, but there's many a study out there, numbers out there that show you that there are way less cops dying in line of duty than in previous decades. But at the same time, we're being fed the information that they have the most dangerous job in America.
Dude, they make it sound like every time the cop pulls somebody over, they get shot at.
No, that's what they want us to believe, though.
Like they walk. In fact, they walk out the house in the morning, and it's people shooting at them.
No,
so they make it sound.
Pretty much.
He came to go out and get the morning paper.
The morning paper. Yeah,
and this nigga does that anymore.
This nigga's going to dump the trash out and getting sniper rounds fired at him.
He came and put the trash out without the local MS-13 taking shots at him.
This nigga in Wisconsin, MS-13, and found him.
Right.
But I mean, it's. I mean, hey, that makes apocalypse, dog. They gonna find him.
Here on my phone.
The Mex
apocalypse. But it's just crazy, man. Like, it's like you are you trying to make your job harder? You are literally on camera planting evidence, and to me, it was just like everyone was like, "Oh, well, I know we talked about it too. Can they turn the camera off? This and that." I'm like, the fact is, let's say they couldn't turn it off. So these niggas know they can't turn it off. The balls to think that I am on camera doing shit illegally and ain't shit gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
That's what I was at. Like, nigga, what the balls on this nigga, dog. To think
unmitigated gall.
The gall,
Yes.
nigga. My balls are so big.
Right.
I don't even zip my pants up, nigga. When I pull you over, it's two balls in your motherfucking driver's window.
Door.
In your window.
My balls got a bulletproof vest, dog. That's how big my balls are, dog. I just like it's ridiculous. Like, we all have jobs. We all have jobs. Joe got jobs. We all, like, if Joe thought his position was so protected that he was just walking around slapping kids in the face on camera, nigga. On camera, knocking 50-50 fitteds off niggas' heads on camera. And
right. Like anybody score below 80 on this test,
you getting? I'm kicking you in your chest.
Shit out you.
This nigga got that motherfucking
in your motherfucking chest.
This nigga got that motherfucking that 300 loop from when he kicked that nigga in the chest to the hole just on a loop. This gonna happen to you if you get less than 80 on my chest, and I'm gonna have a camera on while I do it. Matter of fact,
Charlie Murphy.
What's that? What?
James. He give him that Charlie Murphy kick he did to Rick James.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it ain't even that. It's actually a videotape of him kicking another kid in the chest on a loop, nigga. It'd be like me. Yeah. It'd be like me punching a patient in the face who keep trying to move when I'm trying to fucking put their dressing on they motherfucking ass. Like, if you don't sit still and stop making this sight bleed, I'm gonna punch you in the face on camera, nigga.
Hey, on camera.
On camera, nigga.
And then you take the tape of that and you go home and watch it with your friends every night.
Hey, y'all. I'm gonna play this for the podcast and put it in the show notes.
I told you to quit showing the fucking tape, man.
That's that men's society shit. Look at this shit right here.
Oh shit.
But that's crazy. Outcry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. Not all.
There should be no reason why this dude don't get life.
He just don't get fired. He may have a job somewhere else.
He should get life. I think he should get. He's in a privileged position as an officer, and the fact that he's setting up innocent people, he should get life in prison. That's that much of a dereliction of his duty that he should never see.
But his job is
he's violating the public trust.
Right.
But
he's making it hard for all police officers because he's just one bad apple.
They should all want to see him go to jail for life.
Yeah, he's making it hard for other cops to plant drugs on people.
They don't see it that way. A lot of them don't. They think they need to protect him because he's a so-called brother.
Don't worry.
No, they gonna have a march for the.
I was just about to say
for choking.
Here you go.
They said the NY police union dude was like, the NYPD is in turmoil. We're in mourning. We're in chaos because some dude that murdered some cat on the street got fired 5 years later.
Yep. Illegal chokehold.
And an illegal chokehold.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
He was furious.
In turmoil. You know what? Burn yourself, NYPD Blue.
Damn.
Burn yourself.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but yeah, fuck. I mean, I don't want to say, goddamn, both my parents are cops, but I gotta say it, man. When people talk to me about this shit, dog, like both my parents. Hold on. Ooh. Both my parents were cops during the height of the crack era in Kansas City, Missouri, and somehow, some way, found a way not to shoot niggas who were unarmed in the back, and not plant drugs on niggas. So we'll figure it all out. But hey, we'll move on. I think it's right after the last podcast, like a couple days later, because we were talking about doing an emergency podcast, but things happened. There was a Revolt Summit down in Atlanta. Killer Mike, T.I., Joe's Boo, Candace Owens, and I forget the other two. Who the other? I don't know who the other dude was, and the other light skinned chick. Who were they?
The light skinned chick was, I guess, Candace's road dog.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. And the one on the end was another righteous sister. So
Yeah.
But there was another light skinned nigga with a beard too. Light skinned niggas with a beard.
Yeah.
Beard would almost be respected.
The Elder Bar's little brother.
Probably Chico the bar. He probably got out of
he
jail.
like some skateboard dude that they just brought in off the street to talk about shit.
Okay.
Like the audience participation ass nigga.
Audience anticipation ass nigga.
Hey, look under your seat, and if you got
638-813.
come on down.
Come on down. You get a seat to sit up here next to Killer Mike, T.I., and other random bitches. I'm sorry, women to talk about politics. Right. I'm gonna play some clips. We're gonna play some. We're gonna talk about it.
Stop it! Stop! Everybody, hush!
So basically, I guess I should do a lead in. There was some commentary between T.I., Candace Owens, previous. Actually, there was a lot of commentary previous to this because it's like an hour. It's an hour long, I think. Discussion.
Hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah, discussion just happens between all these individuals, but this is like one of the better clips that we picked out, where Candace Owens and T.I. basically get into a thing about the Republican Party, her support for Trump, this and that, and then Killer Mike basically does what he does and gives us this.
Well, the crowd wouldn't allow Candace to talk.
That too.
And that's understandable.
Yeah,
Right. 'Cause she's talking bullshit.
But she comes out her ass. I put it this way. And you know, y'all know how I feel about Candace. There's a lot of shit I don't like about this woman. I don't disagree with everything she says. I think some of the shit she talks about is based in fact. I don't agree with the conclusion. I don't agree with the conclusion she comes to.
Agreed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
I think she has some. She talks about things that are based in fact, but then her conclusions are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And so T.I. called her on it, and the audience basically was not trying to have any of it, but she was called here to a forum to talk, and so the moderator was basically like, "Yo, we need to let her talk," and then Killer Mike steps in the mic. And basically, you know, try to get everybody on. Let's calm this down so we can have this conversation. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Here we go.
Stop it! Stop! Everybody, hush! Hush! And listen. Because I'm about to give you the secret to what the fuck y'all are witnessing. What you niggas, N-E-G-U-S, of the royal kind, and niggas, N-I-double-G-S, what y'all are seeing right now are free people arguing over who got the best master. Oh yeah. So, we're going to go back to silent. Let's register this shit back down. We're going to lock this back down. So, I'll tell you when America was great. 7 years after the ending of the Civil War.
Exactly what.
Hold, Candace, because you didn't give the comment, so you weren't prepared for that one. No, but that's not to jump on Candace, because again, I'm disagreeing with my friend. 7 years after the end of Civil War, blacks within 7 to 15 years accumulated over 15 million acres of land. Hold on, before we get to clapping, because the niggas bought some shit. Black people were the only skilled labor in there. So if it was welding to be done, iron bending.
Can I pause here? I think Joe had mentioned it on many a podcast ago, back when we went by a different name. The nadir of Negro relations in America. I'm sure I'm saying the word wrong. But yeah, after Civil War, there was a period of time when Negroes did pretty well. We'll continue to play.
Well, I think you're using the wrong word. It wouldn't be nadir.
What was the zenith?
It'd be apex. The Zenith, the Apex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There we go. Wrong word. There we go.
It was black people, so instantly your value became more. And Candace has a point. The point that she made about illegal immigration affecting you is that it's going to affect you at some point. Why? If the Kegel Chicken Factory is hiring illegal immigrants at an undercut on the rate, it affects the black people who live there who should be demanding $20 an hour because they're being undercut. So when they get wiped out, they have to hire blacks, pay them, and unionize. So she's right on that. But hold the fuck on, I'm not finished. You have to remember that people who look like you immigrate too. So before you widely say, fuck them all, remember, America is always going to have a slave class. And if illegal immigrants or legal immigrants will not be the lowest paid workers, those in prison will be, and that always ends up looking like one of their sons. So it circles back around. So that's why people who are black, who are from two different...
I hate to pause it out, but outside the three niggas in the middle, who are these other people? I just keep looking at them.
Well, I know the moderator, Jeff Johnson. He's like BET News and all that.
But I'm talking about the nigga that Joe talked about. Does he have like Timberlands on with a sweater and shorts?
El DeBarge cousin. And then
I don't know who these are.
That nigga probably run a blog or something.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And these other ones, besides being like nice looking women, I have no idea who they are. So that's it.
Well, the one to Killer Mike's right, immediate right, is it's some Republican. I know she's part of like the same movement Candace Owens is a part of.
Okay.
No, that whole.
So who's this? Who's this?
I don't know. I don't know who the one on the end is. But,
the one on
I know Mike acknowledged her.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Good. Yeah. Okay, I was making sure. And I've been drinking. I apologize, y'all. I did mean Zena.
This is what I'm saying though.
Go ahead, Joe.
I think Candace makes points, and Mike is acknowledging that. You know what I'm saying?
She does.
It's not cool to have open borders. It's not cool to have undocumented workers undercutting our labor force and forcing people to work for less than, you know what I'm saying, what should be a livable wage.
Right.
But at the same time,
go ahead.
Are we coming to have the Republicans divine a solution that is feasible, that is effective?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
But even more than that, though, the people who hire undocumented workers and help them be employed undocumented.
This is what I'm talking about.
There we go.
Right, there we go.
This is what I'm talking about. We want to go after the people who are scratching to make a living, but we not attacking
the people that's bringing them over here.
The people who are bringing them over here and the pull factors.
Yeah, because like, what was that latest one where 30 Pieces brought it to our attention that he had people who knew some of the people who got locked up in that, who got caught up in that, the real big one down that Koch brothers or Koch brother, whatever, poultry factory they had down south in was it Florida or whatever, or was it Florida, Alabama? I forget. The last one they had like 600 people that got clapped up in that one.
I think that was Alabama.
Yeah, it might have been Alabama.
Yeah,
because I know his mom and one of his brothers is now in Alabama. But yeah, they went after the workers. They didn't go after none of the top ranking. They went after none of the people who were in charge of hiring policies.
Right.
We do know that.
Right.
And can also come to find out that this came on the back ends of was like a sexual harassment or some kind of lawsuit where they had to pay out, I think maybe $2-3 million a few months, like not a few months ago, like previous year to some people. Crazy.
Right.
So like you said though, Joe, like she makes points, but her conclusions make you go, wait a minute, that's not where I thought she was going.
No. No. So, I mean, and I think Mike is acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to do it, but I'm going to acknowledge it too.
Well, no, but I think we all, on this show, we always acknowledge that they're, like, when people say Party of Lincoln, this and that and this. Right. We've had you and we've all sat down and broke down the fact that jump, Southern strategy, and things of that nature that made the Republican Party what it is. So a lot of people say, yeah, we are the party that freed you, but ignore what happened after that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's that, like you said, that conclusion, like, yeah, you freed us or played a part in that. But there were slaves that showed up in D.C. and Abraham Lincoln said, okay, you niggas can go back overseas now.
Right.
We don't talk about that. Okay, so. More? Play a little more?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say, I apologize, y'all, when I said Nadir. I was thinking about I was drinking, so I'm sorry. Zena.
You're drinking. Come on.
Plantations got to get the fuck away from Massa long enough to say, how are we going to burn down both their fucking houses? Now, this is my thought. I don't care if you destroy the Republican or Democratic Party, because at one time, blacks were Republicans. And you dominated those 7 years after the Civil War. You were Republicans. You had more blacks in the House and Senate than you do now, and you dominated your own economic communities. You did that as Republicans. As Democrats, you did the same in cities like Atlanta. You failed in other cities. But the most important thing is self-organizing. By the time we get to a candidate, we should have a list that says white man, white woman, these are our demands. You can meet them and get our vote, or not, and we're going to stay home and crochet and make collard greens. But what you cannot do is continue to argue over who is the best master. I don't give a fuck if it's Trump, Obama, your mama, my mama. What the fuck do you have for me and my community? Now, if you do not, and if you stop playing, oh, I'm going to say the snazziest shit to each other on stage, I'm going to show that motherfucker this is going to be a quotable, and we close up the doors, and we simply say, how do we take the good of what you have, the good of what you have, the good of what you...
But can I say that if they did that, I don't think Candace would be able to operate in that type of environment?
No.
I don't think she would be able to.
I mean, this is bigger than Candace, man.
No, I'm saying, it's bigger than Candace. I'm talking about as far as the people on that stage. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. All I'm saying is, I mean, he speaks to my mindset. I mean, I'm not nearly as radical as he is. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Right.
But
I don't think any of us are.
I don't consider myself a Democrat nor a Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And because none of them, you know, you trying to set all these round pegs in the square holes, man, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And there's a party line on one side, there's a party line on the other side, and none of it matches my personality perfectly. So I'm like, we need to have our own set of you know what I'm saying, morality, our own set of guidelines that we go from, and we get more. Look, when you go bargain shopping, if I go to buy a car and I'm set that I'm only gonna go to this dealer and he gonna give me whatever the fucking deal he gonna give me, I'm gonna get screwed over on the deal. We need to be prepared to go between dealerships and say, hey, you know, this person's willing to do this over here. What are you willing to do for me? You know what I'm saying? And if we go as a voting block and say, hey, these are the demands we need met, that's how you get, you know what I'm saying? That's when they start campaigning for you and seeking out your vote. You know what I'm saying? But Candace, just to a point, she's talking about, you know, we vote straight up Democrat, and therefore Democrats don't have to react to our demands. Yeah, demands, because they know we're gonna vote for them.
Right, but at the same point in time, though, she is tap dancing and putting on a minstrel show, shaming people who vote.
Her conclusions are fucking wrong. Right. Her conclusion is we should go to the Republicans, and they not doing shit for us.
Correct.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We'll call to get ASAP Rocky home, or we get the ball boy home.
Right.
That's supposed to make me eat at my house.
Right.
Nigga, fuck LeVar Ball boys. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about them niggas. You can call. Look, man, what are you doing for me and mine? You know what I'm saying?
But that's always. Go ahead.
Not wrong. She's not wrong, but her conclusion is fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but she's not wrong. But that's always been the tragedy of the Negro in America. You're always voting for the lesser of two evils. And that's where we're at. Either you don't vote or you're voting for the lesser of two evils. End of the day,
nigga, they need, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what James and I were upset about when we had that conversation 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Democrats just assumed the blacks were going to come out and vote, and they did not come and get our vote. They didn't do anything to excite us.
Right.
To bring us into the party. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas will sit this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and I this motherfucker out.
I get it. Niggas will sit it out. Niggas will sit it out.
We need to be wooed, man.
I feel we need to be wooed. I get what you're saying. We all agree with that. But then if we sit it out, we get more evil instead of lesser two evils. Now we get a motherfucker that's about to start busting up unions.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm telling you the reality.
And I don't disagree with what you're saying, because we all, end of the day, every nigga on this podcast is going to fucking, whether we agree or not, whether we 10 toes deep with the nigga that's on the ballot, we gonna go vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
but I got several niggas on my phone that will not.
No, I'm sure I got more than several niggas. We both got more than several niggas on our phone that will not. So we in agreement there. But all I can be held accountable to is the niggas that I hold myself accountable to every week here on this podcast for now. And then my brother, other people. And hopefully we can get out and touch other people and talk to them. But I do understand that we the side bitch when it comes to politics.
Right.
We are the side bitch. Black people.
But when we
show up, we make the move to happen. They voted a Democrat in the midterm election or the special election. I think it was a special election down in Alabama, man.
Correct.
Now I know you had a fucked up Republican running.
I mean, he was raping little white girls.
Yeah, he was raping kids.
There was an extreme thing that was going on there.
But the reason why he did not, because they still was gonna vote him in.
Right, but it wasn't like
black people showed up in mass to the polls and got him ousted, man.
No, I feel
they have to remember that. They have to cater to our vote, man. And we are so willing to, you know what I'm saying, just either just give the Democrats whatever they want and vote for the lesser of two evils, which is not what we should be doing.
But
we'll sit this motherfucker out. We need to be at the table demanding that the platform addresses our needs.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. All I'm saying is, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I have nothing to say. All I know is that it just doesn't work out that way for us. Unless there's
Killer Mike is saying it needs to. It got
but it's easy to sit on stage and say that it needs to.
Yeah, but we gotta actually do it though. I mean, as a community, we actually have to show up and say, "Hey, this is what we want." Or if not, we're at home like Killer Mike said, we're at home crocheting.
Because end of the day, he still if Bernie gets the nomination, he gonna vote Democrat, right? Or he gonna vote for Trump?
I'm a Democrat because I can't speak to my sensibilities.
No,
Bernie speaks to my sensibilities. So what I'm saying to you,
I'm talking about as far as Killer Mike.
Mike is advocating for Bernie because Bernie meets the criteria that he has set forth. You see what I'm saying?
I understand all of that.
Candidates on the ballot,
huh?
Right.
Even more so than the black candidates on the ballot.
Right. He does.
You know, the Cory Bookers and the Kamala Harris's. He feels like Bernie Sanders meets those criteria, so he is willing to advocate for him. You know
I feel that you missed my point of saying he's still going to vote Democrat, or he's not going to vote at all.
I would think that he would, but at the same time, he has a seat at the table.
Correct, and I put that in our chat group.
We have watched video of him speaking to Bernie Sanders. He has informed Bernie Sanders' position. Bernie Sanders, listen to the chain I'm saying.
I know you're saying what you said before. No, I'm saying.
Let me get it out. No, I'm not. Let me get it out.
Get it out.
He has informed Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has shifted the whole fucking party.
He shifted young white boys that like Bernie Sanders.
We are talking new shit in the Democratic Party that we weren't talking about before Bernie Sanders got, you know what I'm saying, big on the scene.
What new shit we talking about with Bernie Sanders?
Let me give me a second to think about that. No, I didn't know I was gonna be tested on it.
If you're gonna bring it up, because if I said it, you'd ask me the same question.
Let's do it. So I know that what are the big things? I know we're talking about Black Lives Matter. That's something that Bernie's brought to it.
So Obama said Black Lives Matter. He's a Democrat. He did.
But he's talking about legislation. Obama said, "Hey man, thoughts and prayers." Bernie been talking about legislation.
As far as it took him a while to say Black Lives Matter. They had to hit him over the head with it repeatedly before he said it.
No. I don't remember if it was Bernie or if it was Elizabeth Warren. But one of them has basically suggested.
Well, Elizabeth Warren has been on that Black Lives Matter shit for a minute.
Listen to what I'm saying, man. I'm saying to you that they have brought forth the platform of saying the same thing we just got to being mad about in the earlier thing. Whenever there's an internal investigation type of situation where they're trying to, who's watching the watches type of situation, they're saying like a murder, whenever there's a murder or not murder, a death caused by police, you know what I'm saying? That needs to be a federal investigative situation.
Correct. And Barack Obama had federal. He had the Department of Justice investigating all this shit. And now Trump pulled all that shit back. What you talking about, fam?
Everyone automatically.
Not everyone automatically, but
the legislation is saying every single incident.
They talking though, but Barack Obama had motherfuckers in there investigating Ferguson, investigating this dirty policies by cops, and Trump pulled all that shit back.
Ferguson's high. Ferguson is.
But it's a start though. So you saying it don't matter?
It's a lightning. I'm talking about he's taking it further.
But you said it wasn't even in discussion. It was already in discussion. Trump peeled it back.
Furthered the discussion.
So, but you said it wasn't part. No, you were saying it was. But bruh,
left under Bernie.
Bruh, you said it wasn't part of the narrative. Your words were it was not part of the narrative until Bernie Sanders, and that's not true as far as that goes. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I think you're misquoting me.
No, I'm not. When you edit it, play it back. You said the Democratic Party is now discussing things that were not being discussed previous to this, and that's a lie. When it goes as far as Black Lives Matter, that's a lie.
Dude,
now you're talking about degrees. They weren't discussing it, or they were discussing it?
Roger.
Let's just.
They did not discuss automatic federal investigations of every single.
But at first you said they weren't even talking about Black Lives Matter. Barack Obama got shamed by the nation just by saying police should be smarter when they investigate crimes.
We all love Obama, man. We all love Obama.
No, I'm not saying I love Obama, but you make it sound like Bernie Sanders is saying some shit that nobody else said. That's not true. I know you love Bernie, my nigga. So we both love somebody. I know Bernie, your man. Let's move forward, bro.
Saying something that had not been said.
You're right. He's saying that let's not prosecute cops. No one ever said that beforehand. You're right. Let's move forward, bro. Because I'm supposed to be the timekeeper and Bernie's God. So let's move forward.
Time in, nigga.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say my
We gotta move forward, dog. I'm supposed to be a timekeeper. You should have said in that 20. You should have said in that 20 minutes. We moving forward, dog. You got on me about being the timekeeper, bro. When you was being quiet, it's been like 30 minutes of discussion.
It don't fit Roger's narrative, so he don't want to hear it. That's cool. Let's move on.
No. Y'all go ahead. Let's pull out Bernie's dick.
No.
Go ahead, James. Suck it for 10 minutes. Let's go. I'll give you additional 10 minutes. Let me go ahead.
You're right. We overtime.
No. Go ahead. Because in the post game, I don't hear nobody talking about. I didn't say let's move on.
Say nothing.
No, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. No, James, go ahead, bro. I'm gonna give you an additional 10 minutes.
We didn't spend more time talking about you not talking about it than we would have if we'd have talked about it.
If that nigga would have talked about it, we go on. I said go ahead.
No, you was ready to move on till I called you out.
No, I wasn't. I was saying let's move on before you decide to unmute your microphone, my nigga. And once again, when Joe goes to the edited, he can hear that too.
30 seconds. He wouldn't have went through the last 3 minutes. You know.
I can't. Okay, but we'll go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me.
In 2016, when Bernie Sanders ran, the issues that he brought up were issues that other politicians were not talking about. Things like, taxation on the rich, that nobody wanted to talk about. Things like the single payer.
So Barack Obama never talked about single payer?
Single payer, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He did.
Nobody want to talk about it. They wanted to we got Obamacare. That's the best we can do. And Bernie said, no, we can take it further. Sure Climate change, like stuff that's hot now. Bernie was bringing up in 2016, and that's all those things that he was saying. He was being called a radical and a socialist for bringing all those things up. Now that stuff is hot, and everybody else is using Bernie's platform, and that's a fact. That is not for dispute.
Obama's statement on single payer have changed a bit, so that means prior to 2009 he was talking about single payer. But please preach, my nigga.
I'm talking about. See, you trying to twist it.
I'm not trying to twist. Y'all simply say no one was saying it.
Once Obamacare became what it was, he's no longer talking about single payer because he's already established his program.
But you said no one was talking about it. You said no one was talking about it. That's what Joe said. No one was talking about it.
He wasn't talking about it after that.
So he was talking about it before that.
He wasn't talking about it anymore.
So before that, he was talking about it. So you said previous to 2016, no one was talking about single payer. So let's go back.
I don't think no.
That's not what I said.
Okay, man. Okay. Well, I'll go back and listen to this tape.
Single payer.
Okay.
Go back and listen to the speeches.
Dude, it's not. You know what?
I'm listening to what James said, not with the speeches.
You can try to throw salt in the game all you want.
I'm not trying to throw salt in the game. I've already.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
How am I trying to throw salt in the game? Y'all trying to say no more?
I know you want to win an argument.
No one was saying what Master Bernie was saying, but previous to this, can we move on, bro?
And you can try to assassinate our character. And
I'm not trying to assassinate nobody's character. I already say I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote for it, dog. Dog, you're it's
because you don't like the points we're making, because you think you want to.
I don't agree with the point you're making. That's not the same as not liking it, bro. I don't agree. I don't agree. Can we move forward?
To scream, to insult us, but
how have I insulted you, dog?
They're mirrored in what we're talking.
I get it, dog. I get it. I understand. Bernie Sanders is a very sensitive topic for you too. I get it. Anyway, Candace Owens went to Congress today, talked about white supremacy. No, we don't talk about that. Okay.
I'd rather talk more about Bernie.
But I was told we got to wrap it up. I already know niggas don't want to talk about Emmett Till.
Wrap it up, B. Damn, man. Niggas got hurt feelings?
I don't have hurt feelings. Y'all the ones that keep talking about it. I've already said I'm going to vote for anybody, bro. I don't care. Y'all the ones, anytime Bernie Sanders come up, y'all niggas come out here with these capes on.
You wouldn't keep interrupting us. You would let her make our points.
Nigga, because but y'all also the same niggas that say, let's move on in the discussion. So what am I supposed to do? Either move on or not. And I was saying, let's move on before you open your mic up, my nigga. So what are you talking about? You know what? Y'all talk. You know what? I'm gonna delete all these other tabs. Y'all talk about Bernie as much as y'all want. Go ahead. Y'all got the floor.
See, hey man, I don't know. We should do podcasts like in the same room.
He already.
So we can
He did already poison the bell, man. So we
can hug it out after this, or fucking punches might get thrown too. So.
Oh shit!
He already poisoned the well.
No, Joe, we need to be separate. We need to be separate. We can't be in the same room doing this podcast. It won't work. It won't work. Yeah. All right, brothers. Let's come back to the table. Come back to the table, y'all.
Let's break bread, man. We gotta break some bread.
Gotta break some bread, bro. We gotta break some bread. Everybody, all right?
Roger. Hey, man, Roger, virtual hug it out, man.
No, I see. I got the floor. I'm good. Y'all go ahead.
All right, man. Let's go. Let's talk about this trash that's on the screen now.
No, we're gonna go back. There we go. Y'all got the floor.
I can't see my screen.
No, I'm good, man. It's not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna leave it. It's dead. Let's move on.
You want a hug, man? I mean, you want a hug.
We all gonna give hugs on this. We all gonna hug it out. But let's talk about this trash here.
Break bread with your brothers whenever possible.